Imagine the hum of engines at 30,000 feet. The kind of steady drone that lulls you into thinking everything's under control. That's where it all started for me, Sarah Wilkins. A flight attendant with Delta Airlines for over a decade. I'd handled heart attacks midair, fistfights over armrests, and storms that tossed us like a rag doll. But on that fateful flight from New York to Los Angeles, crossing over the vast emptiness of Nebraska, both our pilots collapsed from what we later learned was tainted food. And the only soul who could bring us down safely was a 12-year-old girl flying solo to visit her mom. Her name was Mia Rodriguez, and in those heart-pounding hours, she became our miracle. But miracles don't last in the corporate world. What followed wasn't gratitude or glory, it was silence, lies, and a betrayal that shattered lives, pushing me into a shadow war of revenge that cost me everything I held dear. It was a crisp autumn morning at JFK Airport, passengers shuffling aboard Flight 1842, a Boeing 737 packed with 152 souls. I did my routine checks, oxygen masks tucked away, life vests secure, smiles plastered on despite the early hour. Captain Mark Harlan, a grizzled vet in his 50s with a no-nonsense mustache, nodded from the cockpit. "Smooth sailing today, Sarah," he grunted, eyes on his checklist. His co-pilot, Derek Voss, younger and sharper, flashed a thumbs up. "West Coast by lunch. If only." We pushed back on time, lifted off into a clear blue sky, and settled into cruise. That's when I spotted her, Mia, in seat 15A. A skinny kid with curly black hair and eyes that seemed too old for her face. Unaccompanied minor tag dangling from her backpack. I knelt down. "Hey, kiddo. I'm Sarah. First solo flight." She shook her head. "Nah. I do this a lot. Dad's in LA. Mom's in New York. Split custody stuff. Polite. Composed. No fidgeting like the usual ones." I noted her seat and moved on. Serving drinks. Chatting with folks to ease the miles. About 2 hours in, over the flatlands of Nebraska, I delivered the crew meals standard protocol. Different options to avoid mass issues. But that day, supply was short. Both pilots ended up with the beef stir-fry. "Thanks, Sarah," Harlan said, digging in. Voss just nodded, focused on the horizon. Half an hour later, the intercom crackled. Harlan's voice, but slurred, urgent. "Sarah. Cockpit. Now." My gut twisted. I rushed forward, knocked, entered. Harlan was doubled over, sweat pouring, clutching his abdomen. Voss looked green, hands trembling on the yoke. "Food. Bad. Can't." Harlan gasped. "Food poisoning. Both of them." In a panic, I grabbed the medical kit, paged for a doctor over the PA. A cardiologist from row 20. Dr. Elena Vasquez hurried up. She assessed them. Dehydration. Cramps. Vision blurring. "They're going out cold soon. You need a pilot replacement fast." The cabin stirred as whispers spread. I steadied myself. Announced over the intercom, "If anyone has flight experience, please come forward." Crickets at first. Then a guy in a rumpled suit from row 18 stood. "I'm Greg Turner. Private pilot's license, small props mostly." He tried the controls, but his face fell. "This is a beast. Autopilot's holding. But landing? No way." Despair hit like turbulence. We were doomed. Then a small voice from the doorway, "I can do it." Mia, standing there, backpack slung over one shoulder. "Sweetie, go back," I started. But she cut in. "My dad's a Delta captain. Alex Rodriguez. He's trained me in simulators since I was 8. I know this plane. Greg scoffed. But Mia rattled off gauges, altimeter, airspeed indicator, attitude director. She knew it cold. With no options. I let her sit. Her feet dangled. But her hands were steady. She keyed the radio, Denver Center. Delta 1842 declaring emergency. Pilots down. This is Mia Rodriguez, 12 years old. Taking control. The controller's voice cracked with disbelief. But they patched in her dad from LA. Mia? Baby? It's Dad. You're gonna be fine. Tears welled in her eyes. But she held it together. Under his guidance. She disengaged autopilot. Started descent. The plane dipped. My heart lurched. Passengers panicked screams. Prayers. I barked orders to my crew, keep them seated. Braced. Mia fought the controls. Tiny adjustments keeping us level. Fear's just a signal, her dad whispered over the radio. Use it. We dropped to 10,000 feet. Gear down. Flaps extended. Runway in sight at LAX. Touchdown was rough bounce. Skid, but we stopped. Cheers erupted. Mia collapsed into sobs as her dad rushed aboard, hugging her tight. That should have been the end, a hero's tale. But Delta's brass saw liability. The food? From their contracted caterer. Skimping on safety checks to cut costs. Tests later showed bacterial contamination. A pattern they'd ignored for years. Instead of owning it, they spun the narrative, pilots, personal health issues, no mention of the girl who saved us. They silenced us with NDAs. Threatened jobs. Mia's dad, Alex, pushed back, demanded recognition for her. An investigation. They fired him for unauthorized training, claiming it violated policy. Mia spiraled, nightmares. Therapy sessions. The weight of being erased crushing her spirit. She stopped flying. Withdrew into silence. Her parents' divorce battle reigniting over custody blame. I watched it unfold. Guilt gnawing at me. I'd promised her we'd be okay. But the betrayal festered like an open wound. At first, I stayed quiet, bills to pay, family to support. But seeing Mia at a follow-up meeting, eyes hollow, whispering, they made me nothing, it broke something in me. The silence Delta enforced was a gag on truth. A betrayal of every soul on that flight. I started small, anonymous leaks to reporters about the food logs. Emails showing execs knew about prior complaints. But it wasn't enough. The pain built, sleepless nights replaying the descent. The what-ifs. My own trauma surfaced, flashbacks. Anxiety attacks. Therapy helped. But revenge called louder. I dug deeper. Hacking into old emails with a tech-savvy friend, nothing illegal. Just forgotten access. Found proof, memos prioritizing profits over safety. A cover-up chain leading to the CEO. The tension simmered as I built my case. Whispers at work turned to paranoia, colleagues avoiding me. Bosses watching. My husband begged me to stop. This'll destroy us. But the hurt drove me. Delta's lies were a knife in the back of trust I'd given them for years. I contacted a whistleblower attorney, filed under the FAA's Protection Act. The lawsuit exploded, class action from passengers. Mia's family joining. Media frenzy hit, headlines screaming Delta's deadly meals and erased hero girl. Protests outside headquarters. Stocks tanking. Alex got reinstated with back pay. Mia awarded a scholarship fund. But victory tasted bitter. I lost my job. Friends turned away. Labeled a traitor. Anonymous threats came, slashed tires. Harassing calls. My marriage cracked under the strain, divorce papers served mid-trial. In the end, as the settlement checks rolled in and Delta revamped policies, I sat alone in a quiet apartment, staring at Mia's thank you note, You gave me my voice back. Revenge had its price: isolation. Scars that therapy couldn't fully heal. The silence I'd shattered echoed in my empty life. A reminder that betrayal cuts both ways. Sometimes, the real cost isn't the fight, it's what you lose to win it.